Title Echoes of the Spotlight, The Fall of Nova. Carter, 000020. Narrator. He sold out arenas. Cameras loved him. The world called him Nova. But behind the flashes, a private life burned, and fans never saw the smoke until it was too late. 020-050. Narrator. Jalen Nova. Carter rose from cassette mixtapes to streaming superstardom in less than 5 years. He had the voice, the look, the story every brand wanted. From college dorm rooms to red carpets, Nova became the soundtrack to a generation. 050, 1-30. Narrator. Raised by a single mom in a 2-bedroom apartment, Jalen learned early to hustle. Studio sessions by day, odd jobs by night. Music was more than art. It was survival. And when his breakout single climbed the charts, the city celebrated one of its own. 0130, 0210. Narrator. His sound, part velvet R&B, part brash rap, crossed over fast. Brands called, coasts flew him out, and his social feed swelled with millions. Industry insiders whispered, once-in-a-decade talent. But star power brings pressure, and pressure makes cracks. 021003 The Comb. Narrator. Whispers started small, canceled shows, a temper flare in a dressing room. Team members chalked it up to stress. But the people closest to Nova noticed a pattern. Private relationships that moved fast. Jealousy that simmered. Apologies followed by control. Rio 3 or Q04. Rio. Narrator. Enter Lana, an aspiring stylist who met Nova at a rooftop party. The chemistry was instant. Social posts called them the new power couple. Nova swore he'd changed, said he'd found peace. Fans loved the romance, but things behind closed doors told a different story. 0405. Narrator. At first it was grand gestures, surprise trips, onstage shout-outs. Then came messages policing Lana's time, decisions disguised as protection. I'm only trying to help, Nova would say. When she tried to meet friends, Nova insisted on watching who she saw. Control started small, like a key in a lock, and then it clicked. 05, 06, 0. Narrator. Tension escalated. Public apologies were immediate, performative. 2 smiling people on red carpets, then silence. Private fights grew louder. Friends saw marks, explanations that didn't line up. Lana posted fewer selfies. Nova's PR team coached damage control. His inner circle coached silence. 06 Shaka 07. Narrator. A leaked voice memo changed everything. In it, Lana described being trapped, afraid to leave, afraid to tell. The memo went viral. Fans split. Some defended Nova, others demanded answers. Hashtags trended. Sponsors paused negotiations. The industry that once built him began to distance itself. 07 Shaka 08 Sarashon. Narrator. Media circuses circled. A daytime show ran a segment titled When Fame Hides Fear. Music forums lit up with debates. Art separated from actor or accountability first? Advertisers froze. Festival promoters delayed decisions. Nova's team released statements. Allegations are being investigated. But investigations take time. Social media takes seconds. Wait Fekano Runo 9. Rio. Narrator. Law enforcement opened a case after Lana filed a report. Detectives interviewed staff, examined cameras, traced timelines. Witnesses who feared retaliation now spoke. Drivers, security guards, a housekeeper, each piece building a pattern. The evidence looked less like isolated incidents and more like a repeated behavior. 9. Shakun 10. Kyarizard. Narrator. Prosecutors charged Nova with multiple counts, aggravated battery, coercion, and unlawful imprisonment. The arrest made headlines. Some fans rallied outside the precinct, others cried betrayal. The man who once sold out arenas now faced a different kind of crowd, jurors and legal strategy sessions. Tomasir 11 House. Narrator. The trial fused emotional testimony with phone logs and private messages. Lana's voice trembled as she described nights she tried to leave and was told she'd never make it alone. Defense counsel argued fame complicates relationships, framing actions as misinterpreted. The jury watched videos, reviewed timelines, and weighed the two worlds colliding: celebrity spectacle versus human harm. 11:30. Narrator. After days of testimony, the jury reached a verdict: guilty. The sentence reflected both punishment and protection, a term intended to signal accountability. For many, the verdict was catharsis. For others, it raised tougher questions about how fame enables abuse to persist. 11:30 to 12. Key juror. Narrator. Nova's music still plays on, but the chorus is complicated. Fans debate whether to keep listening. Lana founded a nonprofit to aid survivors, using the spotlight to redirect attention to healing. The industry promised new policies: mandatory domestic violence training for entourages, clearer reporting channels, zero tolerance clauses in contracts. 12:20. Narrator. Stardom can amplify both the best and the worst. When the spotlight fades, people are still left to heal. If this story moved you, share responsibly. Support survivors. Learn the signs. Speak up. 12:40. Narrator. If you or someone you know is in danger, use your country's hotline number. If this story resonates, share responsibly. Support survivors. Learn the signs. Speak up. 12:40, 13:20. Narrator. In the weeks after the verdict, neighborhoods that once cheered at Nova's shows reoriented their grief toward action. Local artists held benefit concerts. Street corners with murals became meeting places for those who wanted change. 13:20-14. Carnes. Narrator. Lana chose to step forward in a new way, founding a nonprofit for artists and entertainment workers who face relationship violence. She partnered with therapists, lawyers, and managers to build safety nets where few existed. 14:40. Narrator. Record labels and promoters felt the pressure. Contracts now more commonly include clauses for domestic violence investigations, third-party ombuds, and mandatory safety training for touring entourages. 14:40-15:20. Narrator. The case split audiences. Some fans erased Nova from playlists. Others argued for separating the art from the artist. Online, this debate burned bright, unearthing larger questions about forgiveness, accountability, and how we consume culture. 15:20-16. Ray. Narrator. As expected, defense attorneys filed appeals. The courtroom drama continued in a slower, more technical phase. Motions, hearings, and procedural back and forth that stretched months into years. 16:40. Narrator. Nova's catalog didn't vanish overnight. Some radio stations removed tracks. Others played them with context segments about abuse and accountability. Musicians sampled his style, some as homage, others to start conversations about toxic fame. 16:40-17:20. Narrator. Tour managers rewired safety processes, anonymous reporting apps for crew, on-call legal liaisons, mandatory rest windows,